Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. If you go to the BBC portal, there's a story there titled William RUTO, the tax collector president, sparking Kenyan anger. If you go to the BBC portal and probably type that title, William RUTO, the tax collector president, sparking Kenyan anger, you will get a story on what BBC has said regarding William RUTO's regime. And this story, Isaac MWAURA, the government spokesperson, reacted to it, but the most important thing and the main reason why I brought this analysis is because of the reaction from KABANDO. KABANDO has reacted to that story and literally addressed the tweet or the message that Isaac MWAURA shared. So first, let me read to you part of the story that BBC shared, because from this BBC story, Isaac MWAURA and KABANDO's reactions, we will be able to address them. So first, here's the story. Some Kenyans are mockingly referring to President William RUTO as Zakayo, Swahili for the biblical figure Zacchaeus, who is portrayed in the Christian holy book as a greedy tax collector who climbed a tree to see Jesus. This is because Mr. RUTO has introduced a raft of new taxes and raised old ones since he was elected president in August 2022, making him unpopular with many Kenyans who believe he has betrayed his campaign pledge to champion the interests of hustlers who struggle financially. President RUTO, who has made over 40 trips abroad in about a year, has defended his traveling, saying he was seeking foreign investment and job opportunities for Kenyans. So in about the same time, 70,000 private sector jobs are being lost amid a drastic rise in operating costs and the closure of some businesses, according to the latest report by the Federation of Kenyan Employers. Economist Ken Gichinga says Kenya has been discouraging businesses by placing a heavy tax burden on companies that are supposed to create jobs, make profit, and boost government finances. So that is just a brief of what BBC shared. What I did, I just sampled some few paragraphs and read to you. So BBC believes that William RUTO is truly Zakayo. I mean, from the reactions of Kenyans, from what Kenyans are saying, and from how the government is not sitting ground on their quest to impose more taxes on Kenyans. So BBC seems to believe that that is the case. So because of this message from the BBC, we had a reaction from Isaac MWAURA, and Isaac MWAURA had to defend. You know, Isaac MWAURA being the government spokesperson, he had to defend. So I want us to go through that reaction and what KABANDO said in his X account. So before you do that, please, I'd like to request you to just support this channel by subscribing. The only request I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, is simply to subscribe and also to give this video a like. Only that, ladies and gentlemen. And to those who supported us by subscribing, I want to say that I'm forever grateful for that support, because without that support, this channel cannot grow. So let's head over to this statement from KABANDO. So KABANDO, being a former Mukurweni member of parliament who, according to sources, left Raila's camp a few months ago, possibly to join KK Alliance, he took to his X account to express his displeasure with the government's reaction to a BBC News Africa story and shared this on his X account. Dear my Rafiki MWAURA Isaac, spokesperson GOK, last time a regime was this scared, intolerant, belligerent, eccentric, Arap Moi was in reign. And Kanu Hawks verified BBC, Voice of America, jail editors of Nairobi Law Monthly, Beyond and Finance. Fast forward, kifo cha nyani kikifika miti yote huteleza. So that's what Kabando shared, and that was a reaction to the statement that MWAURA shared, and MWAURA's statement was also in reaction to what we called BBC's story on William Ruto being the tax collector. So MWAURA said, clarification on the malicious, untruthful and false reports published by the BBC World Online today. Then there was a very long statement there from the government spokesperson, and this was to defend what we call defend what BBC was running as a story. So there was no way Isaac MWAURA would agree with BBC. So he had to counter BBC's take. And whatever Isaac MWAURA says, we comfortably say it's word from the State House. So State House called BBC's report malicious and damaging. So in this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to expound what Kabando's posts were all about and exactly what BBC said about the government. Kabando, from the reaction, did not buy MWAURA's explanation, and instead reminded MWAURA of the days of the former President Daniel Arap Moi and that regime, which, according to Kabando, was notorious for cracking down on the media and dissenting voices. I don't have to remind you about that. It's available in the public domain. The history is there, how Moi used to deal with the media and dissenting voices. So MWAURA had to be defensive on this aspect and tell the BBC not to run such a story again. And this was going to be pretty destructive to the RUTO regime. But we can as well say that whatever BBC has done has literally scared the regime. The regime are scared by what BBC said. And this, because whatever BBC says, rest assured, will hit the global scene. And whatever BBC said, rest assured, will go viral. And that's why this story has already gone viral. And there was all the intention were there to have MWAURA respond. That's why MWAURA had to respond to this narrative. And we can comfortably say that MWAURA's take was defensive, and it had to be defensive because he is in government. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you make of this reaction from MWAURA? What MWAURA has said regarding the BBC story that was shared and that it has really gone viral, this story, where William Ruto is alleged, I mean, where they're saying that Kenyans are mocking President William Ruto and as Zakayo, you know, that name, the name Zakayo. And I think the first person who could have brought this name Zakayo was Raila. Either Raila or Millie Odhiambo. I suspect Millie Odhiambo was the first person. Back then when there was those, the meeting, was it Jacaranda? No, not Jivanji. The meeting in Jivanji. That's when the first time I heard about Zakayo. I think that could have been the time. And if it's not Millie Odhiambo, then it's Raila Amolo Odinga or Babu Owino, those three. The first, either of them, I mean, that's where the name Zakayo came from. And then Kenyans took this name na wakaiendeleza mpaka saizi. So ladies and gentlemen, perhaps if you're watching this video for the first time and you not subscribed before, please take a moment and subscribe. And to those who subscribed before, I want to say that I'm forever grateful for that support, because without that support, this channel cannot grow. So until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.